Hello and welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We've got Stevie, we've got Shaka, and we've got Frank Leboeuf as well, answering all of your questions today. Thank you to those of you who responded on Instagram today. Lovely picture of you guys.
I put it out on Instagram too.
2 years ago.
I have no idea who responded.
A few years. Well, Frank's got hair. That's a pretty years.
Frank's got hair on the picture. Yep, you guys are looking pretty jazzy too, I have to say.
What photo was that?
I didn't put it together. I didn't put it together.
I'm going to have to see where it was.
No, I've got it here. I've got the questions here.
I want to see the photo, never mind the questions.
They're going to put up the photo.
Oh, that's the old Reading shirt.
I think that Frank thought that I'd chosen the picture of him. I didn't, Frank. It was our production team, I promise.
Oh, you didn't?
You didn't choose that one.
I knew you respect me more than the guy who picked that one, because that's disrespectful. That picture.
Yeah.
I find it a little suspicious how quickly you got yourself out the road with that one. Nobody asked anything. It wasn't me, Frank. It wasn't me. I'm a little suspicious personally.
Well.
Back in the day, we had Panini stickers.
Yep.
Might not be the Panini. There was another one as well that came out just after the Premier League.
Merlin or something like that. Yep.
And the one of me, my tongue was hanging out.
Oh no.
I mean, are you serious? Who picks the pictures? Who looks at that? Or who looked at that picture of Frank and went, "Oh yeah, that's the one"?
Well, okay.
Are you complaining about a sticker book from 40 years ago? Is that what's happening here?
When the picture of you is, where's it? This is the picture. That's what my tongue's like in the picture. I mean, seriously.
All right. Well, let's get the questions. Okay. Who is more likely to go through, Spurs or United? Frank.
I would say Spurs, because I think the opponent is less good than United's opponent, because I think Real Sociedad can do something good there. And United, I mean, they can be good, but sometimes they can, lose everything and forget everything and getting very fragile. So it's hard to say Manchester United at home. They're better than Real Sociedad, and they're going to do the job, because we don't know. Suddenly they can, again, lose everything, forget everything, and lose the game. So I'm more confident that Spurs, for margin, can do better than United.
I go United, because United were better than Sociedad in the first leg. And I can't see the same for Spurs, with that said. So I'm going to go Manchester United, more likely to go through.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go United as well, because they're winning. And it's going to be one incredible turnaround for Real Sociedad. I mean, recently they've been horrible.
They're not winning.
And so it's next week. I beg your pardon.
They're not winning.
Oh, sorry.
But they've got the home advantage.
But they got the home advantage. And Real Sociedad have been horrible and were horrible in this game. So I'll go United.
All right. What are your thoughts, Stevie, on a halftime show during the World Cup final of 2026? Is it going against the integrity of the game with a 15-minute break, or would a 30-minute break with a performance be improving the image of the sport?
Improve the image? A halftime show is going to change the image. I mean, seriously. Honestly, I have no problem with coming up with little things that'll entertain fans, right? But when you start messing with the foundation of the game, 15 minutes at half-time and all just the basics of the game. Just keep the structure the way it is. And if you can put things in that entertain the crowd, then great. But don't change the structure just because you want to get somebody standing on a stage belting out a tune.
Even if it was Adele?
Even if it was Adele.
Well, there you go. Let me just say, to correct the language in the tweet, it will Americanize the image. I don't think it improves the image at all. It Americanizes the image. And to the point about performances, the World Cup has always had performances at the opening ceremony. I think I'm right in saying that there are also performances immediately before the final. So there's this kind of mixing of showbiz and sport. If that's, if you want to come and see Adele, you can come see Adele. Just not at halftime. It's just not what this game has ever done.
And of course, Frank, the World Cup winners are the stars when it comes to World Cup games. That's what we all need to remember.
Let's get Frank dancing at halftime.
Yes, I would
during the
definitely
World
come to
Cup
see
final.
that. We need 45 minutes
yes,
for that.
I will sing with Snoop Dogg. I will.
Yeah.
No, we won't be watching Craig Burton. Shaka. Oh, for Mr. Hislop, the friend's back.
That's me. That's
For Mr.
yours.
Hislop, making a lot of saves in a game like Alisson did yesterday is a blessing or a nightmare for a goalkeeper?
Well, if I have to choose one of the two, I'd say a blessing. You know, I think it's harder. And again, and when we were talking about the game during the show, I said top-level goalkeepers make one or two huge saves a game. We train. The way we train, we are saving shot after shot all day long. And it's easier just to keep yourself in that rhythm. The far more difficult thing, which is why players like Alisson and so are as highly regarded as they are, is you've done nothing for, the old cliche, 89 minutes, and then all of a sudden you've got to produce this big save. That's reserved for the best of the goalkeepers. So again, it's truly neither nightmare or blessing, but if I had to choose one, I'd go blessing.
Cliff Esmiol says, who was everyone's idol?
I'm sorry,
Yes, go on, Frank.
I'm sorry, I have a question for Shaka. How many times in your career you found yourself quite invincible in the game? Like you felt like nothing would happen, never you would concede a goal. How many times in your career?
Well, I don't know if I kept count. I'd always steal. So I remember speaking to Brian Lara, who, for those who don't know cricket, regards as the best batsman to have ever lived. I remember talking to him early on when he was in the peak of his career and him saying he knew when he was going to be on because he felt like he saw the ball like a beach ball. He saw the cricket ball like a beach ball. And I found myself saying that to myself on days, like in the warm-up, I'm like, I'm seeing this. You know, you really are ball just feels a whole lot bigger. And those days inevitably have proven to be my best days. And you have some of those, you know. Of course, you never know until the final whistle, but you have those days.
Those are the days. Who was everyone's idol? Someone who they modelled their playing style after? I appreciate you all, says Cliff. Frank, who was your idol?
I had a few. Pelé first, Edson Arantes de Nascimento, of course. Michel Platini and Franz Beckenbauer, the Kaiser. I think they were all classy, talented, exceptional players, and it's why I love football, because I was watching those players. They were leaders. They had everything, and I had a chance to meet all of them, which I think has been a blast for me. But wonderful people, wonderful players, of course, real idols.
Shaka?
I'll give you two: Ray Clemence, Joe Corrigan. And growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, didn't have a lot of access to certainly the English game. Liverpool were dominating world football at the time, so we saw a lot of Liverpool. And those two goalkeepers are the ones that I just remember most. You know, whether I can't say that I fashioned my game after them. I'm pretty adamant that, you know, everybody's pretty individual in terms of how you're progressing as goalkeepers.
Glenn was fantastic.
I loved it. So, and saying that, I had a kind of full circle moment when I got called into the England squad. Ray Clemence was the goalkeeper coach. So I just had to take pause at that moment. You know, a young kid growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, watching Ray Clemence on the TV, and now here I am standing shoulder to shoulder with him. You know, it's just, while you have a job to do and I have to try to impress, and it was just a really special moment for me.
Yeah, one of those pinch yourself moments. Yeah. Stevie?
My first ever one was Willie Henderson. He was a winger, played for Rangers. I just loved he used to take people on and try and dribble past them. Then George Best. And then when I was in my early teens, it was Kenny Dalglish. He was a young guy with Celtic at the time. He was probably, I'd be 13, he was probably about 21.
So did you have that moment that like Shaka had?
Well, the first one I had was I never met Willie Henderson, unfortunately. I met George Best, and I had that, scared to talk to him.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't talk to him, apart from hello, because I was just, didn't know what to say. I was just looking at him. But then Kenny, by the time I met Kenny, I was older.
Right.
And obviously I was sat next to him in the dressing room.
That's what I'm saying, but did you ever sit down and think, wow,
Not really.
it passed by then?
That had passed by then, aye. Yeah.
Not really. I wasn't even bothered. Shaka, is Neuer hurting the cause of goalkeepers being considered top athletes when he gets hurt during the goal
No, that's old.
celebration?
That's an old man injury. That's an old man injury.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm at the stage now where I yawn too hard and I pull a muscle in my ribs. That's kind of where Neuer's edge. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that was a hard yawn. I gotta go see the doctor. That's kind of where Neuer is now. You can't.
You know, when I yawn, I get cramp.
That's an old man injury. That's a proper old man. And that's what Neuer is now. That's what Neuer is. You do something like, oh,
You
no,
know,
that hurt.
You know, guys, I got injured. I was like 36 years old, shooting a penalty with Marseille. And I shot, and on the way going up, you know, before shooting, before the leg goes by, I felt the pain, and I scored the goal, and I asked to substitution, and it was after 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I was so ashamed. And Bernard Tapie was the chairman. He said, "What did you do? You jumped over the publicity, the commercial banners, you know, to celebrate or what?" I said, "I'm 36. I don't do that. I never did that. I'm not going to do it at 36. I only shot a penalty and I got injured." He said, "Oh, you're too old. You should retire."
I did my calf on the golf course. I was on my own. I was on the green, right? So I'm putting, and as I got to putt, the sprinkler head came on. So I turned to run away. And as I went like that, I went, oh!
But tell me, it was after your career, Stevie. After you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It was after your career, Stevie. Not be. Okay, lucky.
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
Boy.
On my own.
I had to get the buggy back into the club.
Stevie.
Boy.
Stevie, best forward you went up against while you were playing?
Probably Chris Waddle. Chris was so deceptive, and you kind of knew the things that it could go both ways. And he always kind of did the same thing, regardless of which way he went, which was flummoxing. Because normally, somebody, when they go to the left, do a certain thing, and when they're going to the right, they do a certain thing. So whenever you see it, the cue tells you where they're going. Whereas Wads, what he used to do is he'd drop his left shoulder as if he was going left, and then at the last second, he would step over the ball and go that way. And so it was really hard, because even when he went that way, he would drop his left shoulder and go that way without stepping over it as well. So you had to make sure you weren't too close. You had to make sure you weren't too far away, because he would make a pass into the box past you. So you had to make sure you were in a perfect spot, that you somehow made him go a certain way if you could.
Shaka loves that one.
Yeah, I love it.
Shaka, your power rankings have been very bad since the start of the year.
What?
Has not going to Carnival this year affected the algorithm?
You know, I think we're onto something here. I think in the best interest of the power rankings going forward, ESPN should pay for me to go to Carnival. Ezio, you're right. We're onto something.
What?
Going to Carnival.
So you're saying your power rankings have been bad?
I'm saying what we need to do is we need to do a sample. We know what it's like when I don't go to Carnival. Now send me to Carnival, and then we compare the two. Yes.
Tell the boss.
Yeah.
That's one for the boss. And then we compare it, and then we know that, listen, power rankings are a whole lot better in
That's
Shaka
twisted.
Carnival.
That's a twisted thought. That's
So,
a real
it's
twisted
carry your
thought.
case.
It's a company expense. It's in the
Well
best
done, well done,
interest.
Shaka, well
it's in the
done.
best interest of ESPN.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
I think I'd stick out at Carnival.
Well, You'll pull your calf.
Yeah.
You'll probably pull your calf.
I'd love to see Steve.
Oh God!
All right, I think we have a little picture for you guys because we didn't get it up at the beginning.
Oh.
Let me see. Maybe.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Hey!
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh baby.
Frank,
How come you get
my
your
God.
photo from today?
it's not from today.
Not as you from today. You get your photo today. All of us from 40 years ago.
They look the same every day, Shaq.
Well, just saying.
Stevie?
Yeah, that's unfair.
Is that a good
That's
one?
unfair.
That's better than the
Kate.
Panini sticker.
At least your tongue's not out.
Tell you what, that top's horrible, isn't it?
Which one, mine?
That red top, that red,
Oh, the
black
red-
and white top thing's horrible. What's
What?
that?
That's my Reading days, my top.
Hey,
That's not
listen,
my
it
top.
works.
That's not my top I'm complaining about. That's my haircut.
It's your hair. Yeah. But you've sorted it out now, Frank,
Whatever.
so everything's fine, okay?
Yeah. But next time, pick a picture of you when you were younger, just for us
Yeah,
to
change
compare
your
with
photo.
us.
Don't just give them one from today.
Don't need to do that, I'm already so youthful and
Just
everything.
give-
So.
yeah.